Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well today. We are back with another Civilization 6 quick little discussion. And today we are going to be talking not necessarily about strategies I recommend, but civilizations that I think if you are getting into the game of civilization, that would be a little bit more easier to understand than some of the others. So, some of what I recommend might not necessarily be my favorite, but it's what I think is easily understandable and something that has a clear game plan or has the clear ability to choose your game plan. So we're going to be doing running down my top 5 beginner-friendly civs. I mean, again, this is just one man's humble opinion. Don't think too much into it. Feel free to disagree with me down in the comments, and I hope we get, some good stuff out of this. So, first up on the list, we are going to be talking about Tokugawa, and in a similar sense, kind of, where is she? Kind of Jadwiga as well. But I personally think that once it gets into the later game of Civilization, trying to manage trade routes in specific is a little bit of a nightmare. How do I optimize them? Where do I send them? It's a bit of a headache because to some people it is a little bit overwhelming. So I've always myself appreciated civilizations that give some bonus to. It's a lot more simple to run a very tight empire and keep it all in house per se. So civilizations that reward internal trade routes. Like his ability that gives culture, science, and gold. To internal trade routes, Jadwiga has the special Suckians building that does that for culture and gold. So it definitely rewards players for focusing on themselves and focusing on, optimizing themselves before looking out. And I think that, at least for me personally, that's a little bit more easy to manage in a 4X strategy game than, you know, well, what exact city should I be going to, and how many resources do they have, and how many districts do they have, because that can kind of affect it. Also, with the Meiji Restoration, I think it's a little more forgiving with district placement, because obviously the biggest difference between Civ 5 and Civ 6 is, well, one of the big ones is the district system. And, talking to my personal friend, talking too fast again, personal close friends, one of the major headaches with Civilization 6 is they don't really like the district system too much. And I think Meiji Restoration gives, with that additional adjacency bonus, kind of gives a little bit of leeway to, maybe not the most optimized of district placements, and allows you to still function pretty effectively with, not as optimized gameplay, which, for somebody getting into the game might be a little bit more challenging. I mean, come on. With the rise of For Honor and stuff like that, who doesn't like Samurai? So the electronics factory, that's also good, but mainly it's these civilizations that reward internal trade routes. And, with communism, the government later down the road, I believe collectivism is the social policy you get from that, makes it even better. So, yes, that will be number 5. Number 4 will be a bit of a three-way tie, as... Where are they? Okay, so it's going to be Egypt. So both of the Cleopatras, and with the leader pass recently, I believe we have Ramses as well. Personally, I found a lot of fun with Ramses, but one one of the favorite strategies and one of the most fond memories I'll look back on with playing Civilization with the boys is, all right, who's going to be the filthy wonder gatherer and the one who does nothing but snipe everybody else's wonders? And honestly, there's a couple good wonder civilizations in this game, but personally, I think at the very least, Egypt is, I mean, for example, Quinn right here, the Mandate of Heaven, where you can spend builder charges to upgrade wonders. I think it's a little bit easier to understand with the ability that all of the Egyptians have, which is that 15% production towards a district and wonders if placed next to a river. It's quite simple. Slap it down next to a river, and you're good to go. It also helps. I mean, again, it's a little bit more forgiving with the district placement and how optimized it has to be, and it will kind of help you along there, even if you don't know how best to optimize the game. Um, it gives you a little bit of a crush there, and wonders, wonders, wonders. It's combined with the right policy, especially with Ramsey's ability. Just will skyrocket your culture. You place your theater districts correctly, and I think it is a very easy game plan to go a culture victory on Egypt. With some of the latest videos I've seen from Potato McWhiskey and Boethius, just watching like stupid national park placements with arrival of Happy from Ptolemaic Cleopatra, there is a lot of easy and different ways to go about uh, playing the Egyptians. And I think personally, playing a wonder collector game, I mean, that appeals to itself. I appeals to the average lay fan who, is a casual enjoyer of the game. So, yeah, definitely a cultural wonder gameplay at number 4. Number 3, I think, is also going to be an eye catcher to the layman. It is Norway. So, Norway just has a blast in the opening stages of the game with the Viking longship. I mean, come on, who doesn't like Vikings? It's going to get, the beginners hyped. And, if you're hyped about the game, you might find it a little bit more enjoyable. So, personally, with the Viking longship and Thunderbolt of the North ability, just being able to have almost uncontested domination of the seas, and with the raids that will be able to basically pay for your fleet, will pay you back for your expenditure on the fleet. It can easily set up on some of the water maps into either an early domination victory or set you up in such a good way economically to go for probably any other victory you can choose. But I mean, obviously domination victory would be the first choice, but yeah. I haven't experimented much with the Stave Church, but I know Viking longships and Berserkers are insane. It's a very straightforward and very simple game plan that I think, get your longships out, raid, profit. And I think it's very simple and easy to understand to the average layman. So next, we are going to go towards what I thought was the original broken Civ in Civ 6. Okay, well, we got culture, we got domination, we got, a kind of variety trade route Civ. Okay, now we have science, science, science. Good gosh, Korea was absolutely busted on release, at least in my opinion. It was so ridiculous. You got so far ahead science-wise. I don't know if how much they've modified or changed it from the original, and it has been, balanced a little bit further, but places that have a unique science district, are they the only ones that have a unique science district? I think so, because I know Portugal has a building. Or is the navigation school... Okay, yeah, it's a unique building. I think they're the only ones that have a unique campus. Yeah, I think so. Which, I mean, again, that just puts them leagues ahead of, some of the other civilizations. If you know how to, place their districts correctly, the science they get from mines and bonuses to farms, it is very easy with somewhat minimal efforts to just basically put the C1 over here away from everything. Profit. You will be flying through the technological ages very easily with very little effort with Korea at the lower levels. And I can use a similar analogy to my Magic the Gathering habit. It's what's what's more cool than being able to play the game? And with Korea, you will be getting those technologies. You will be being able to unlock those units and experience the game in its fullest capacity, I think. And I think that's a pretty good place for beginners to start. It's not the hardest civilization to run, in my opinion, and it will let you to If you're playing on the higher difficulties, keep a little bit better pace with the AI. If you're playing on the lower difficulties, it's a very easy civ to snowball with. So Korea in a science game. Between the two, I haven't. I mean, I know I have a playthrough with Sejong on my channel right now. I don't really know how to optimize his top ability, so I would recommend sticking with Seonduk. Alright, and for number one, it seems to be the consensus with most Civilization content creators online. It is Trajan with Trajan's Column. Okay, I love Rome in this game so much because, specifically Trajan, I know Caesar's in the game now, his ability isn't the best, but all roads lead to Rome. Good God, I come from the days of Civilization 3 where you had to have hordes of workers that built roads on every single tile. And even in Civilization 5, it was a hassle to get roads out. And Civilization 6 did it a little bit better with the trader system, but with all roads lead to Rome, I believe it's if you're on the same continent. Yeah, if you're within trade route range. A road will just immediately be formed between any city that you found and the capital. And that is just the ease of access and the ease of play it does or it gives to new players, I think is immeasurable. I mean, same kind of rule of cool factor with the Vikings. I mean, the Roman legions are definitely something that can get history nerds hyped for and newer players a little bit sucked into the game. The Bath itself is a great district, but honestly, Trajan's Column I think is where it's at because getting just a free building in any other city, whenever you found it, that I have found saves so much time, effort, and energy in the game, and early culture is so good in Civilization. Even like small things like Goddess of Festivals that gives culture from plantations or something like that. Like if you get 2 or 3 culture, that can be game breaking. Well, not game breaking, but it could put you in such a good position. And getting a free monument with that culture and I mean, Civ 6 is a game that, it's either expand or die. And some of the newer situations, some of the newer leaders, playing tall has begun to make a comeback, but for the most part, you play tall or you die. And with Trajan getting a free +1 culture and monument just for, doing what's expected of you in Civ 6, that can put you into such a good position. And obviously, it's, you could think, oh, Rome must be a domination civ, but you could take it in so many different ways. With all the culture you're getting, you could run a culture game. Domination games also there, or science. Trajan is just all around a really, really good, really good place for beginners to start, and I agree with most of the YouTube community on that. So, yeah, for any of you who are listening who are new to Civilization 6, I hope you found this helpful. If anybody disagrees with me, feel free to drop a comment down below and we'll have a little bit of a discussion about it. If you enjoyed what you saw, I would appreciate a like and leaving a comment down below, perhaps even consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!